and welcome to Titanium Taras Tarot, and today I will be doing Are you knocking yourself out of your intuitiveness and how? So for this I'll be using some concepts that were brought to us by Chris Duncan through his company, SuperConscious Education. I will also be using, all of this information is from the SuperConscious Education program. So I'll mainly use my intuition. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple T's, let's get into the concepts. All right, so starting off with the perfectionist. Okay, so let's see if you are going to be knocking yourself out of your intuitiveness this week. All right, so please, angels and guides, anyone from the highest good, are my perfectionists going to be knocking themselves out? I get a yes and a no, so I'm getting towards the end of the week. You are not going to, but I feel like for the start, let's see how you're going to be knocking yourself out. So please, angels and guides, anyone from the highest good, and we got by reacting. You are going, my perfectionist, you are going to be reacting to whatever is happening around you, and that will not actually help your situation. So that is how you are knocking yourself out of your intuitiveness. Now, let's see for my helpers. So, please, angels and guides, anyone for the highest good, are my helpers knocking themselves out? I gotta know, and then a yes. I think maybe towards the mid part of the week, you might get a little too confident with your intuition, and you're like, I don't need to watch out for what's happening, so I can just take a breather and just go along with what's happening. But unfortunately, that's when, it happens, when you slip out and you don't even notice. So let's just notice, how are my helpers knocking themselves out? And they're knocking themselves out by being indirect. Yes, usually when helpers or people who feel too nice, who are geared towards helping others, they take the back seat even to their lives in order to help other people advance. And now that is an issue that is coming up. So now for my achievers, please, angels and guides, are my achievers knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness? I get a no. I get a slight no. So you got to be mindful of how you might be knocking yourselves out. So let's see what comes. Oh, and the first card is choices through default. You are deciding something because you feel like you have no other choice. Very interesting. My achievers, you have all the choices. You basically choose anything in your life at any given moment. Now, for my individualists, please, angels and guides, are my individualists going to knock themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no. No. And not a yes. I just get a clear no. Okay? So that's good. Just make sure that you keep at it. All right? Now, for my investigators, please, angels and guides, anyone for the highest good who has a message. For my investigators, please come forward and share if they are knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness. I get a yes. It starts small and then it gets bigger and bigger as I was continuing to talk. So that means that at the beginning of the week, it's not going to be as pronounced, but then towards the end of the week, it's going to be very pronounced. So please, angels and guides, anyone for the highest good, and you are knocking yourself out by being conscious. My individualist. Yes. My individualist. I feel like you are, you're not sure what you used to do intuitively beforehand, now you're not so sure about, and because of that, you're trying to use your consciousness to make sure that you're on the right track, to make to like you're going through a checklist of I need to do this, while as before you just did it naturally, because now I'm getting that something has knocked you off course. And I feel like the way you can get back into your intuitiveness is just to figure out what has knocked you out and then fix that, right? So that is for my individualists. So now for my loyalists. So please, angels and guides, anyone from the highest good who has a message for my loyalists. And we have indirectness in the reverse. We also got consciousness sideways and choice by default. So what I'm getting from that, right? What I am getting from that is that, well, you're not being indirect this week. You're being very direct about things, which is very much in your what you're used to doing. So you're like gung ho about what it is you want to protect. You're also conscious about what it is that needs to get done, which usually you're not. Well, usually you don't consciously think about it, because seeing as you're being indirect about, well, seeing as you are being very direct about what it is that you want to be loyal to, I feel like that has caused you to ruffle some feathers of people in very prominent places. Like, I feel like you like hurt some family, or you annoyed some friends, and you're like, at this point you're noticing that the way that you are acting is having an effect on them, and because of that you are choosing by default to not be you, to not ruffle too many feathers, is what I'm getting. Now, this is very, very, like, very, very specific story. Now, no, oh, one didn't fall. Okay. Now, for my enthusiasts. So, please, angels and guides, are my enthusiasts knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no and a slight yes. So at the beginning, you're definitely doing it, and you're not. You're definitely not. But yet again, towards the end, you are, and I'm getting definite yes about that. So let's just see, how are my enthusiasts knocking themselves out of their intuition? And the first one is universal signs. So are you going on what, like, so are you going out, are you going, are you following what other people are telling you that you should be noticing instead of you actually noticing it, is what I'm getting? Or are you noticing, like, excuse me, something that is not, something that is, well, I'm getting that if you are listening to what, like, I don't know, some other something that doesn't really show you that it's a sign, but rather that someone else said that it's a sign. So it's, well, I mean, if you take it as a sign, it is a sign, but you just need to be mindful that it means what does it mean to you. So, I mean, one of the most important things in, like, in what we do, what I do in reading, is that you yes, you take other people's perspective with a grain of salt, but you have to ultimately utilize your own knowledge of what things what things mean for you. So I feel like that is of utmost importance for you at this moment in time, my enthusiasts. Now, for my protectors. So, please, angels and guides, anyone for the highest good, are my protectors knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness this week? I get a no, and no slight yes. I just get a no. So you are defending what you need to defend, and that is great and amazing. Now, for my chameleons, the ones who can do all of the above in order to fit the situation that they are currently faced with. Now, are my chameleons knocking themselves out of their intuitiveness? I get a no, but a slight yes. So let's see. What I'm getting is that you are not completely confident. So I guess I'm getting that you are second guessing yourself. Conditional choice, yes. So you're second guessing your own intuitiveness because of what you've heard somewhere else, or what you think. Well, because you don't feel intuitive enough this week, I feel like you are being very conditional choice. Things like, for example, your intuitive nudges need to come in specific ways, but if you have a knowledge enough that your intuition comes from every single side of you. Sometimes it's a muscle that doesn't feel right, or it's a organ that just does something weird. Like you get indigestion, you're like, what the hell is this? Or something that you're not used to. That's just a sign. But from your higher self that something is up and that you need to pay attention to it. So, my gorgeous triple tears, this is all I have for you guys this week. If you like this, and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price for private readings, as well as the email you can send donations to on PayPal if you feel so called. And with that being said, my gorgeous triple tears, I wish you guys all a very good week, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.